sense. It's all over the place again and I'm so annoyed at myself. Because I'm recording for 58 minutes already, and if this, what I just said, doesn't make any sense, I'm gonna be so pissed. Alright, welcome back to I Cannot Speak English. Welcome to another video. Hi, my name is Alex. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Today is all about Quicksilver, as you saw in the title probably. This book was all over TikTok. Some enjoyed it, some hated it, some are in between, like me. I will just tell you what's on my mind, and that may contain spoilers. So I don't think that's the video you should watch if you haven't read this book. Please leave this video. I will not be responsible for any spoilers you hear, because I finished it recently and I have a lot of thoughts about it. Well, that didn't turn out as planned. This is future Alex editing this video, and what can I say? It's chaotic as I didn't record an intro when I first started filming for this vlog, so that's why I included the first part of the sit down video, but I will show you my initial reactions first before we do the sit down. I just hope you can still enjoy this video, and yeah, well, the chaotic me is the real me. I definitely need some more structure in future videos, but what can I say? I can't change anything about it right now. So let's move on. I look horrendous, but I was reading Throne of Glass. I'm basically on the tender read. I have to read Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn, but I don't want it to be over. You get what I mean? So I'm just here eating my strawberries, and I was contemplating if I should just do something on my laptop, start Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn, or start a new book. Usually I don't do that. I don't like reading a book when I'm reading a series, but I don't want Throne of Glass to be over. I mean, I know what's gonna happen, because I read that fan fiction. I said this a million times already, but I don't want to start the next book. So you know, going for Quicksilver. I think there is a second book coming out, so that's why I'm filming this. I originally didn't plan to do a reading vlog for this book, but this is the first reading vlog I want to do spontaneously. I will do a sit down at the end when I finished this book, like I did for Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, Onyx Storm, and Akatar, but I will do this differently this time. So we'll see. I'm gonna start Quicksilver now. I'm excited. I don't know what this book is about. My arm is getting heavy and it hurts, but you get what I mean. I will start this now. I will choose tabs and markers, and then we'll do this. Ooh, I'm excited. I already finished all my strawberries before I even started the book, but fine. And I bent the cover. Oh, I'm so mad. I'm one of those people who do not bend their books. Oh no, okay. But it was an accident. I'm fine. Ah! Not again. I'm gonna use these. They have to match the book, naturally. I'm more excited. Be careful of the deals you make, dear child. Okay. Oh yeah, there's a map as well. I probably won't look at this. I fear I need a pronunciation guide as well. Terran Ross Island, Sanus Roth. I'm prepared. Oh! I get a pronunciation guide for the characters at least. Nice. Well, that's not that difficult though. Oh, places. Oh, nice. Thank you. It's first person perspective. Okay. I read the first 15 pages and we met a couple different characters already. She has a brother. And why was I picturing him like being, I don't know, 9 or 10 years old? And then he's apparently 20? I was like, okay. Because one of them said, Elroy, I hope that's what his name is. I'm not asking for you. I'm not asking for me either. I'm asking for Hayden. He's not like us yet. The lad still laughs. I only want him to keep that innocence a little longer. And then she answers, he's 20 years old. I was like, oh, he's 9 or 10, something like that, but 20? She is one of the poor, I guess. It's divided. She lives in 3rd, at least that's what I remember. Where are we? What? Where the hell are we in this? Is her brother gonna die? I mean, I don't know him, but I don't want him to die. God bless he didn't die. Man, that was harsh. Why? That was mean. I mean, I understand why she did it, but damn. I'm so tired. It's 10:57. I'm continuing this the day after tomorrow. Or maybe tomorrow morning. It's the day right after my night shift, and I feel like I was run over by a truck. It is 3:42 p.m. I had so many things planned for today, but the only thing I will accomplish today is reading my book. I will not do anything else. I'm on page 420. I think I could finish this today, if it's the only thing I will do. To the people who do this on a regular basis, you have my utmost respect. I couldn't do this. I had one night shift and I'm done. So he just said, I love you. Okay. He accepted the bond. We're fine. But there are a couple of 100 pages left. So we all know what that means. I don't understand how this man changed completely. I swear to God. If something's gonna happen to her, what's gonna separate them, I'm gonna flip. Like what? I don't like this. I was so happy 2 seconds ago. Why would he do this? Why would he leave? I mean, yes, I get it, but... Man, she's so sad. I'm so sad as well. Oh, God. I'd vowed I'd never care about anyone enough to experience this kind of pain again. Oh no, he left the sword for her. What is this? They made this. Like, suddenly I was falling, and the falling is really falling down the page. What the f? Can you see this? Falling. I mean, why not? Everlane, if that's her name, is back. She's apparently fine. She's talking. We don't know what's gonna happen to her. Oh no. The next chapter is named after the words the Quicksilver. It's like the... I don't know if I pronounced this right. It's Anorath more? If Lorith, if he's gonna die, then I don't know what to do. Because I like him. I'm gonna lose my No. I hate this. Ew. If I jumped a second later, I think the damn thing would have cut me in half. Well? What? His eyes were orbs of scuffed metal, pure quicksilver, gleaming inside the sockets of his gaunt skull. Huh? What the f is happening? I'm so confused. But this kind of reminds me of the 3 trials in A Court of Thorns and Roses. So, I don't know. We'll see what's gonna happen, right? They were in on this. The king and the queen. Are you serious? Was? Huh? Huh? What? Huh? Oh. What? What is happening? What is happening? I don't understand. I don't know. Oh my god. That is a turn of events I did not see coming. What the f is this? Yep. Get on with it. Your bitch of a mother was supposed to be the greatest oracle of our time, but she was useless. I admitted, as soon as she was done pushing out the bread I forced upon her, I slit the bitch's throat. I was sick of her lies. Oh man! They were allies and had been working together since before the blood curse. You. You. Oh yeah. Wouldn't come as a surprise to me if they killed all the alchemists, honestly, at this point. Well, at least he's dead. Woo! I mean, it didn't say he was dead, but I hope he is. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Man, he wasn't dead, really? Good lord. This is going not the way I expected it to go. Wait, what the? I do like it. It's very entertaining. I like the MMC. I won't say his name. I mean, ouch. You won't catch me calling him by the name he was given by the author. Bellicone, whatever. The king. He's still alive. We love to see it. But Carrion is the heir? Yeah, of course he is. What is happening in this book? Oh my god. I was right. And Madra did kill
almost all of the alchemists. How surprising. Malcolm has a crush on Fisher, I guess. He's like obsessed with him. Well, guess what? It's not you he wants, bruh. I feel like something else is gonna happen, and it's nothing good.
She almost died, but we're fine. We're fine. For now. Malcolm is really dead this time. I was right. He wasn't dead the first time. Madra has fled. Bellicon, whatever is God knows where, but he's not dead either. And now we're talking to a god. I mean, and to the one who we're not supposed to talk to. She'd warned in no uncertain terms that a person should never let this god look upon them. And here he was, a physical embodiment of him. Anyway, sitting on a rock, waiting to have a chat with me. Oh, you asshole. You were supposed to have been born Fae, in the same realm as your Kingfisher. So I separated you. Hundreds of years before you were born, I shifted the events around your birth. Moved the pieces on the board and placed you far away, in a realm that should never have come into contact with his. Are you serious, bro? So he's not evil then? Oh man! He just said a couple of sentences. It's the bare minimum. Again, he barely said anything and I still like him. I mean, he wasn't the good guy when he talked to them from the other side of the lake, and I didn't expect to like him. I don't know why I expect him to show up again, but now he's here, and he's not evil. He's kind of nice, but I don't know what to think. It's crazy shit, Kuya. Can you believe that? I know. They're both alive still. Great. He just said, hey you. Why am I like this? What is wrong with me? Oh, so my first thought, she was gonna heal him when I first started this book, so I'm kind of glad it's not. That would have been way too obvious, honestly. And then it was clear that she couldn't help him, and I was like, huh? But who is gonna help him? But this is fine. I like this. Nah. No. Is she gonna become queen of the vampires? Interesting. You officially become the new queen. Are they for real? I can't believe I finished it. What's gonna happen with Hayden and Elroy? She's gonna be queen. He can be healed. Everlane is sleeping and we don't know what's happening with her. Teledeus is not evil. He's nice. Well, at least Loreth didn't die. Ren is, I don't know where. Probably with Everlane. Madra and the king are gone. They still have to defeat them. Then all the stuff happening with the gods. I have no idea. I have to let it sink in. And then I will come back and talk about this again, but I'm gonna see you when we discuss this book again, probably next week, because it's Easter and Easter holidays, so there will be a lot of stuff happening with family, and I probably won't have time to sit down and do this. Until then, good night. I tried to put them in a pro and contra list because I have a lot of them. I initially gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. Let me tell you right away that will change. I have reflected a lot. Even though I liked this book, I enjoyed reading it, the contra list is longer than the pro list. And I don't know how to put this. I mean, I read a lot of fantasy and romance books before. I only read fantasy and romance books, basically. This is my main genre, romantasy. And I don't know if that puts me in a position where I have higher expectations of a book. And this book was hyped on TikTok as well. Another one after Fourth Wing. But I loved Fourth Wing. That one was... no words. I still liked it. I enjoyed reading it, but it was not the best romantasy book I ever read. Just to put it out there. I'm still excited for the second one. I will still read it. I quite like the cover. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. There are way worse covers out there, quite frankly. So, yeah. My cover lost some color. I don't know if you can see that, but that annoys me to no end. Hello. Do you want to join? We cannot cuddle right now, Kuya. Are you serious? Can we do that later? Please? Please, please? Go to your spot. First of all, I haven't seen a single person out there who liked the MMC's name. I mean, this book is out for a while. I think it was released in 2024, and I didn't want to read it because the name, it threw me off. Like, you can't name Don't Come For Me to the author, I'm sorry, but you can't name a character Kingfisher. I hated the name. I gave him another name or just called him Fisher. That's not as bad as Kingfisher, but Fisher is still not good. There is a part in this book where it says that you should be careful who you give your name to, or you have a name for your family and friends and another one for all the other people you meet or anything like this. I really hope his name is not Kingfisher. That's just the name he's giving everyone, and he's keeping his name to himself. You know what I mean? Because that's just not it. Also, I don't read the backs of the books. Sometimes I feel like it spoils a little bit of the story already, so that's why I won't read it. But wait, does it say vampires? Faye. No, it actually doesn't say it. But there are vampires in this book, and I didn't know that. Honestly, I haven't read anything with vampires in it since Twilight, and I forgot the name of the series. I'm so serious. Oh my god. This was my favorite series up until a few weeks ago, and I can't remember the name. This is so embarrassing. The Moral Instruments. Oh my god. I haven't read about vampires since Twilight and The Moral Instruments because I was so tired of vampires. Every time someone says vampire, I always think about that one sentence Edward says to Bella.
This is the skin of a killer, Bella.
So yeah, I was kind of, why are there vampires in here? I don't want to read this. If you do not enjoy reading about vampires, then figure out for yourself if you want to read it or not. The dedication is very cute. It says, for those who live their nightmares so that others may have their dreams. I kind of like that. I was like, Another thing this book has, it has a pronunciation guide for people and places. The thing is, I feel like the pronunciation guide is not long enough. I wanted to know how names are pronounced that aren't in here, and that was kind of annoying because I looked them up on YouTube and I couldn't find any. For Throne of Glass, there are a bunch of videos how to pronounce these names, but not for this book. And I was like, I don't want to make a mistake, but I kind of have to because I can't find any pronunciation for this. So if I say any name wrong, I'm sorry. Please correct me in the comments. I noticed right away that this book is very fast-paced. That's not necessarily something I disliked. It's just some books, which are the first of a series, start slow. Like ACOTAR started slow. There was a lot of stuff happening. You're like thrown in there and you have to like, wait, where am I exactly? I need to take a step back and read that again. Let me go back and you know, start from page 1 again. That's why I have a lot of character tags in the beginning. The author actually mentioned a lot of characters and I was like, if she's naming them, that has to mean something. I mean, it has to be important, but it wasn't. And then I stopped because I was like, she can't make a story out of all of these characters she mentions. That wouldn't make any sense. Her brother, Hayden, I think it was, or you see him in the first few chapters and then he's like mentioned once or twice and then you never see him again. I don't know. I mean, it would have been one of my priorities if I would go to a different world and my sister is trapped on the other side in the other world. I would make it one of my priorities to get back to her. I mean, it was her priority in the beginning, but then there were so many things happening that I have no idea if she kind of forgot it, that her friends and her brother are still there. Some of the scenes were pretty graphic. I was not actually expecting her to get into a fight. She fought a guardian. I was not expecting her to get injured like pretty badly. That was kind of, I was like, okay, that's different from all the other stories I read, so we're just going with it. There's a scene when she talks about her mother, and that was pretty graphic as well. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. It's just that it surprised me because I'm not used to writing like this. So if you cannot read things like that, then you should probably either skip the whole book or just Google what scenes are graphic and then skip those. A major point I saw other people mentioning online was that it would have been nice to have a dual POV. You only get Ceres's POV in this. The whole book is just her telling her story basically, and sometimes it would have been nice to have his thoughts as well. It would have made sense. There were so many scenes in this where I thought it would have been great to have his opinions, his thoughts on the meta. I think it would have added to the book. That was actually kind of funny. I couldn't really imagine it because when she's leaving with him after some time at the palace, she actually doesn't know what trees are, what mountains are, and what snow is. And that was kind of, I couldn't see it from her perspective, you know, because I obviously know what trees and mountains and snow are. I had to laugh at this. I have no idea why and why I wrote this down, but just go with it. Then I wrote down, but damn, he's one attractive guy. The damn is really drawn out. Like with 1, 2, 3, 4 A's. It turns out he's he's turning insane. He has Quicksilver in his eye. You know, there is something that's called mercury poisoning or something like this, which is basically Quicksilver poisoning, but they just called it mercury. I have no idea why. Please don't quote me on this. Yeah, it hurts, obviously, because it's some kind of metal in your body. So he's in pain. It turns out that Ceres can actually talk and influence Quicksilver to like combine with other metals. She can manipulate other metals as well, I think. No, she actually can't. She manipulated the Quicksilver and the gold, so never mind that. There are Quicksilver pools have the ability to transport someone to another realm. I hope I got that right, and I don't like actually talk nonsense right now. It makes sense why this book is called Quicksilver. That's what I was gonna say. he gives her a couple of nicknames, Human and Osha, Little Osha. At first I read it like Osha, and that reminded me of Game of Thrones. What the is happening? But I bought the audiobook and they called it Osha. In the beginning I thought she was gonna heal him. It was the obvious thing because he has Quicksilver in his eye. She can manipulate Quicksilver, you know, but turned out she can't actually do it, and I was so glad about it. When he talked about his age, or no, she talked to Everlane, I hope that's her name, I'm so sorry, in the audiobook. I didn't get to the part where they pronounce her name, and so I don't know if her name is actually Everlane or not. Sarah's talked to Everlane about the Fae ages. Kingfisher, Fisher, or whatever you want to call him, is 1,733 years old. And I was like, okay, well, there's either no age gap or a major age gap between these characters. There's no in between, but we're all fine with it. And then there's the part where she apparently feels, what did I write down? Feels adrenaline or some kind of energy going through her body every time she sees him. That has to mean something. The author wouldn't put this in there if that didn't mean anything. Remember that later you get to know his mother, the memory of his mother, because his mother is dead. That Everlane is his half-sister, and that her father, who's the king, and he's an asshole, basically. He forced his mother. His mother was married before. Obviously, she had him. Then the king somehow murdered his father. Then forced his mother to marry him. And they got Everlane. And then it's mentioned that she died at birth. But he actually killed her. Like this. Then I watched a video where someone said they were worried about incest. And I was like, I didn't even think about this. She tried to get her brother into the Fae world once, and she gave Fisher her blood, or he took her blood as a tracking device. It's not a device, but as a means to track her brother down. And then he returns, but not with her brother, but with the guy she had with before. And I was like, huh? Well, he brought him. I have no idea why. It's explained later. Other people actually used their brains again, and we're like, is he her missing brother she doesn't know about? I didn't recognize this. This MMC has such a dirty mouth. Like, wow. When people ask me why I only read books in English even though I'm German, I always say this because I could not read smut in German. It's horrible, it's cringe. I don't want to see these words ever again. It's still the same words, but I could not read them in German. That would be Blah. Blah. The thing is, I bought the audiobook when I was a quarter into this book. I had a night shift and I needed something to listen to. He voiced Rhysand and Akotar, and I knew he sounded familiar. The filth that came out of this man's mouth was insane. I mean, when you read it, it was insane, but when you were listening to it, it was... well... yeah. I do liked Loreth, that he got Danyas, I have no idea what this character is called, that he got her sword and the Quicksilver actually chose him. That was kind of cool, kind of sick. I liked that a lot. And I was actually afraid of him dying. He went through the portal with Carrion and Ceres, and Ren stayed behind, and I was like, hopefully he's not gonna die. Then you find out that Fisher's mother was an oracle and that she knew that Ceres was gonna come around. She actually drew her, I think, and Ceres was actually meant to be born in the Fae world, but the god of chaos interfered and put her in the human realm. You know, you have all these names. You have Ceres, you have Everlane, you have Lorith, you have Ren, and then there's the villain who's called Malcolm. That's such an ordinary name in comparison to the others. Why? Do you have someone in your life you don't like who's called Malcolm? Or there's something cool happening with tattoos. The tattoos he has are transferred to her when they have, obviously, and that means they are mates, but she doesn't know, only he does. There are some very cute conversations, like when he confesses his love or when he explains the nickname. I guess we're going with the contra first. The first thing on my list is I wouldn't actually call this enemies to lovers. He has a very baseless hatred for her. I guess because she's his mate and he feels vulnerable and weak because she gives him a point where he can be hurt. It's baseless. The dislike between them is baseless. He starts it and she goes with it. But I wouldn't call it enemies to lovers. The physical attraction between them was there very early on. It happened very quickly, even though they still told themselves they didn't like each other. They were intimate very early on in the book, and even though the love scenes, the smut scenes were good, I put this point on the pro list that the love scenes and smut scenes were good, but there was something missing. I don't choose one or the other. I need both. If an author is describing like he went into the tent, he grabbed the bag, he pulled out a dagger, where's the feeling? What is he thinking in that moment? What does he feel? I mean, there was some in the scenes, but not as much as I would have liked. But that's on me. The beginning, the start, the build up in the love scenes was alright. It started very slow and then it happened and then it was over in a blink. I didn't like that. It could have been better. You get a lot of characters, a lot of side characters. You have Lorith, you have Everlane, you have Ren, you have Telena, whatever. The witch, I forgot the name of. Daniel is a basically. I'm so sorry, I don't like her at all. But you have the sprites, you have the vampires, you have Teledeus, you have Wendy as well. I like Wendy. When they go to Ballad, whatever. Her brother as well, Hayden and Elroy and Kyrian and his grandmother, the queen, Heron? I can't remember if that's his name. But you get all of these side characters, but not necessarily a deeper background for them. I have to keep in mind, this is only the first book and it's already 600 pages. So maybe we'll get something in the next books, but that was just something I noticed. You throw all these characters in there, but you don't have a background for them. A little bit for some of them. I guess I needed more. I'm so sorry. Especially because the witch, what is her name? I know she's in here in the pronunciation guide. Isha Bal? It's... Can I show this? Will it actually show up? It's this name right here. That's the witch. And it turns out she is the one who saves Everlane in the end and who can heal him as well. And you don't know anything about her. Like, teeny tiny bit. I'm looking forward to get to know some of these characters on a deeper level. I feel like I already said this, there was a lot of stuff happening in this book. And I think because there was a lot of stuff happening in this book, a lot of things that could have been interesting or are interesting and will maybe get explored in future books were dropped. For instance, the setting, the world she lives in with 2 suns, no moon, apparently no trees and snow and mountains. I think they're trapped in a forever summer situation with a lot of sand, no water. They get, I think, 6 ounces, which are 180 milliliters, I think. I don't even know if it's per day, but they basically have to fight for water. She was sterilized. That's just why does this stuff happen? We don't know. They could have explained this in 1 or 2 sentences more, I feel like, but I'm not an author, I'm not an expert, I can't really say anything on this, but that's, again, just my opinion. I wouldn't call this plot holes. There are 3. There's Malcolm, there's Madra, who's the human queen, and the king, Everlane's dad. They all are the villains. And one of them says, you can't kill one of us, you have to kill all of us to get rid of us. I was like, okay, well. There was a scene where the king almost died, and I was really happy about this. And I really thought he was dead, but turns out he wasn't. He recovered pretty quickly, and I was like, okay, so they really have to kill all 3 of them at the same time. But in the end, they killed Malcolm, and the other 2 fled. What was the reason why you mentioned that you have to kill all 3 of them together, whatever, but then in the end 1 is killed and 2 flee? That didn't make any sense to me. The Silvaran people, they live in a place where it's basically always summer. They have to fight for their water. They're about to die of thirst and starvation, and they apparently don't have anything better to do than gossip about Ceres and Carrion having, or about Ceres' mother, who barely made ends meet, who was trying to save her children by becoming a... And the people, again, don't have anything better to do than gossip about her, being cruel to her. I don't know if I would live in a situation where I have 180 milliliters of water every day. I would starve, and I don't know, would fight for my life every day, because there are people killed every day for the most ridiculous reason. Then I think I wouldn't gossip about 2 people having, or someone who's being a... I don't know. I don't know if I made sense just now, but that gave me the ick. Why would you make them bullies? There were 4 major points that reminded me of ACOTAR. Number 1 was that she had to swear an oath to him. He could actually manipulate her through the bond, make her do things to keep her safe. That's what he told her, at least. Then he knew that they were mates, and he kept it a secret from her, and she had to figure it out because of someone else. And the 4th was the maze at the end. Even though it was a maze and was 1 trial, it reminded me of the 3 trials Farah had to go through at the end of ACOTAR. And I don't know why this reminded me of ACOTAR. Maybe because it's Fae. I have no idea. First of all, this is another book where I like the MMC more than the FMC, because I do love sarcastic characters. He's like a bit grumpy, he's moody, he's really sarcastic at times, and I really enjoyed reading that. Just all in all, enjoyed his personality a lot. It's incredible. The banter in this is, I'm not gonna say amazing again. I swear to God, there need to be other words I can use. Stunning, marvelous. Nee, dann nehme ich lieber amazing. The banter I liked a lot. That was really amazing. I loved it so much. I mean, at times I wanted her to be a bit more badass. I wanted the comeback to be a bit more badass, but who am I kidding? If I would be in her shoes, I wouldn't talk back like this either. I would overthink it later, what I could have said instead. That's just who I am. That somehow carried the book. I do love the Quicksilver part that added something new to it, and I'm excited to see where this goes, because I think they said she was the most powerful alchemist they have in years. I mean, I think she's the only alchemist right now. I think the God of Chaos said there are some more people in Sylvarin who can actually manipulate Quicksilver like her, but we don't know that at this point. So I think they said she's the most powerful, and she turns half fae, half vampire at the end, so she's something the world hasn't seen before. As I said before, I loved that she didn't save him, because that would have been way too obvious. I would have been so annoyed and angry at this if that would have been the case. So I'm actually really glad she didn't save him. I loved a lot of the side characters, like Loreth, Ren, Everlane, Wendy. Some of the conversations between these characters were just nothing else to add. I enjoyed that very much. Now, I actually like Teledeus. He was on the vampire's side. Is he evil? He's like talking a bit much, but turns out in the end he was actually, I mean, you don't know if he's the good guy, but Fisher is using a, not necessarily a pet name, but a shorter version of his name for him, so I guess they are friends. And he barely said anything, but I like him already, so I hope he's not evil after all. The conversation with the God of Chaos was cool. I wrote that down. I like that a lot. With his daughters, who are actually what the two sons in her world are named after, I guess. Did I say that right? The smut was good. That's what I said already. That was good, but something was missing for me, but that's just me, because I don't like when there are not a lot of feelings described, just the mechanics. Like, you know, she's describing what he's doing. That's basically all I had to say. Rated this 4 out of 5 initially, but I feel like I have to go down a bit to 3.5 or 3.75. It wasn't the best romantasy book I ever read. I still enjoyed it. I could like turn my head off. I thought about this for the sake of this video for the last 2 days, but I wasn't like obsessed with it. I wasn't watching videos about it, watching theory videos, watching TikToks and Reels and other people reacting to this book like I did for Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing, Iron Flame and Onyx Storm are basically my new personality. It was still good, it was a good read, but that's all for me, and that's fine. If it was a 5-star book for you, that's totally fine as well. Please leave your opinion in the comments down below. I wanna see what you thought about this. If it's a 5-star book for you, please tell me that as well. Let me know what you think of the book, what your expectations are for the second one, and if you enjoyed reading this, if you hated reading this, if you think it's too similar to other series that were published. I will see you in the next video, which is hopefully gonna be the book. The video, I'm gonna talk about books, what genres I read, and what my thoughts are on fanfiction. Because I was originally planning to post this instead of this, but sometimes plans change. I see you in the next one, and I hope you have a great day. I'm gonna leave. Bye bye.